So you've probably realised that here in the UK it's getting dark pretty early in the mornings, and so I needed a solution that would allow me to ride my good bike here in the dark whilst still being able to see obviously what's in front of me. So for those of you that don't know, this is what I refer to as my good bike. It's a 3T Strada Due and I use that for all of my training and races. I do have another bike which I use for commuting, and based on my experience is nowhere near as enjoyable to ride as this one, so I do like to ride this bike specifically wherever possible. Now as you can see, I've got some clip-on Aero bars here which take up a lot of space on the handlebars. I don't have room for much at all, so I needed a solution that would allow me to attach a light while still being able to have the clip-on bars on. Now I did have one of those cheapy lights that you wrap around the handlebars here, which was okay for when I needed to be seen more than to actually see when I'm on the bike. But one thing I did find was that whenever I put my hands anywhere around that area, the light would actually flip pointing downwards, which is obviously no good to anyone. So I knew I needed to sort something out, especially as it was getting darker earlier in the mornings when I like to do my riding. Now I did already have a prime Wahoo mount which sits in between the Aero bars here, so I thought maybe we can make use of that. Now I did a bit of research and actually found you can get a GoPro adapter that gets mounted underneath the Wahoo mount here. Now that was great, but I then needed to find out if I could actually attach a light to that GoPro mount. And I was actually in luck, as I found that in fact they do have a mount for my light, which is an exposure strada, which would allow me to essentially mount the light onto a GoPro mount. Now it wasn't the cheapest thing out there. I think it was about 20 quid just for the GoPro mount itself. But I found it to be really worthwhile so far. I've been out a couple of times in the mornings, probably around 5:45-ish, so it is still dark and there wasn't many street lights about. And this light has been absolutely brilliant, really good visibility, and it also allows other cars that are on the road at the time to see me as well. So yeah, not the cheapest solution out there, but it allowed me to make use of an existing light that I already had. It's a really clean setup. I've got my Wahoo mount in between the Aero bars here, and then the light just below it. Nothing else on the handlebars here, so a really clean looking setup that does the job just perfectly for me. So that is my light setup for these dark winter months. Still get to ride my good bike outside whilst being seen and being able to see. Really pleased with this. Nice clean setup with just the Wahoo mount and then the light underneath, nothing else on the handlebars to get in the way. So I hope this was helpful to someone out there. Please do drop it a like if you did find it helpful. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.